occurs to me that having been out the team, been unavailable through injury, it can't be a lot of fun sitting and watching and not being able to do anything about the situation. But I suppose it can't be a lot of fun being involved with it at the minute.
No, there's nobody in that dressing room at the moment that's enjoying the situation, enjoying the position we've been in. It's been a tough season. I don't think there's any getting away from that. I feel like we've been in and around the relegation spot since early October, September time, and never been able to pull away. Never been able to put 2 or 3 results together, and that'll keep you in and around them relegation spots if you can't do that. So whether you've been in the team, whether you've been out of the team for whatever reason, whether you're a coaching staff or whether you're a fan of Accrington Stanley, it's not been an enjoyable season. But it's not over yet. We've got 3 games to go.
How do you keep going to the well? How do you keep going again?
You've got to. That's the only thing you can do. You've got to believe that there is, when you've been out of the team, you get a lot of time to examine things. You watch the games, you watch training, you're watching other teams play. And for the performances haven't been good enough, but we've had injuries and suspensions and things go against us, and we're still not dead. And that's the way that I look at it. Any other season, if you're 38 points with 3 games to go, you're dead and buried. You can't mathematically do it. So I'm clinging to the fact that there is something else out there that's keeping us alive for some reason. And, we've got 3 games to make the most of that chance that we've been given, wherever that's come from.
The maths and the form suggests it's a very tall order. But if somebody in this relegation zone, one of the teams, does stay up, in a weird, perverse way, you end up being legends, don't you?
Yeah, I suppose to have great moments, and outside of sport, in life, you need to go through some kind of adversity that makes the moment all the better. Now, I would rather be 12th, and petering out the season with nothing to play for. But, if we were to turn this around, and we've said it a few times in the dressing room, it would be a fantastic season. It would be a fantastic achievement. If we were to stay up, this would be better than winning the league for me. Getting promoted, it would top that.
Is that in the minds, particularly of those of you that have been around for a while, that you helped get Accrington Stanley into this position in this league, but also you're responsible in a way for being in the position you now find yourselves? Yeah,
I think the longer you've been at the club, this club has, I've said it before in the past, it's been part of my story. When I came here, since I've came here, I've got married, I've had 2 children, I bought my first house, all because of what this club has given me. It's given me the opportunity to do those things. And, I've spoken to lads who've been here in the past who aren't here anymore, and it's hurting them. Lads who've moved on but played their part in getting the club here, it's hurting them. So you feel a responsibility not just towards the lads in the dressing room, towards the coaching staff, towards the fans, but other, players who have all played their part, and people who have all played their part in getting the club to, to punching well above their weight in League One. But that's where we want to be.
Can it help at all that you've had a couple of cup runs this season and therefore won one-off matches along the way, and now basically you've got to win matches?
Yeah, I think that the cup runs probably hindered us when you look at it in the cold light of day, but that's not to say that we shouldn't. We try to win every game. That's what the coaching staff demand here. I think the way you look at it now is that there are no easy games for anyone at this stage of the season. You can see it at the top level. If you watch Arsenal at the top of the Premier League, there's no easy games for them. Whether you're trying to get into the playoffs, whether you're trying to get automatic promotion, whether you're trying to stay up, there's pressure from all sides. There'll be pressure on Bolton tomorrow night. They're expected to win tomorrow night. They're expected to solidify themselves in the playoff spots. So there's a pressure on them, just like there's pressure on us.
Is there any encouragement you can take from QPR winning at Burnley, when Burnley have got an unbeaten home record, or Southampton and Arsenal, or is it just about you and what you're able to do?
No, I think that it goes back to my last answer. There's, there's no easy games at this time of the year. When you look at the results on a Saturday afternoon or a Tuesday night in April, you shouldn't be surprised. People will still be surprised, and people will think, oh, that's a banker. But there are no easy games this time of the year. We went to Doncaster, our first year in League One. Third last game of the season, similar to what tomorrow night will be. We played Doncaster, who were in the playoff spots, and we needed to get a result. We played Doncaster away and we beat them 2-1. And that went, that was the massive game that kept us up that year. That was our first game in League One. So, it's a similar scenario tomorrow.
And we mentioned the cup runs. The last time you played Bolton was the semi-final here. Is it natural that there'll be an element of the way it felt to lose that game going into this game and playing Bolton again?
Not for me, no. I don't. I just think it's those games have gone. We've played them twice this year. We've competed well with them twice this year. So we show that we can match them for large parts of a 90-minute game. They've just been more clinical in front of goal in both games. So, maybe tomorrow night is our turn to have a little bit of luck.
And just finally, this is something I've asked the manager before, and he's sitting behind us while we're doing this. How do you give belief? How do you remind yourselves that you are eminently capable of scoring goals, keeping clean sheets? You've done it before. Does that belief get knocked when you don't win games?
Yeah, of course it does. Yeah, that's why teams go on bad runs, and that's why teams go on good runs, because of confidence. You expect to win games. More often than not, you'll win games. If you expect to get beat, you're going to get beat. So yeah, the difficult thing is getting belief and confidence into a team that has not won since Port Vale, since Good Friday. But that's the job of the senior players in the team. It's the job of the coaching staff, and it gets to a point where it's pretty simple. It's win or you're doomed. So we need to win.